So just start to find a comfortable seat on your mat. You can sit on a block or blanket, right on the mat, wherever you find stability, right? So feel your sit bones rooting down into whatever you're sitting on. Let your knees hang down heavy, right? Close your eyes gently. And start to think about stacking your shoulders right on top of your hips. Your head right on top of your shoulders. Bring your chin parallel to the mat. And gently engage your core to start to find a nice long, strong front body here. Even strength in the back and the front. Shrug your shoulders up by your ears, roll them back, open up your collarbones here, but keep your core engaged. And then let your shoulder blades sink down the back of your spine. Keeping your shoulders heavy away from your ears. Take a deep breath in through your nose, really filling up here. And then let it all go through your mouth. 2 more times like that. Deep inhale, really fill your chest, expand and fill up with warm breath. And then let it all go. Right? It's like releasing everything that's already happened today and any thoughts of what's going to happen in the after this hour. And just focusing on the here and now. 1 more time all together. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Let's open class together with 3 ohms, right? That sacred sound, joining ourselves together in our separate places, but joined together. Deep inhale. Sitting with that vibration as it starts to awaken your body, warm up your body from the toes all the way to the top of your head. Start to engage your Ujjayi breath, which is with your mouth closed. It's a deep sound at the back of your throat like the ocean. Right? The breath is in and out of your nose during the class. Find evenness in your inhales and your exhales. And then keeping your eyes gently closed, start to take your arms out to the side, reach them up overhead, maybe joining them in prayer overhead if your shoulders are ready. Keep the long front body, take the arch out of your spine. Good, tuck your tailbone down even though you're sitting, right? Finding the length, taking the sway out of your lower back. Tilt your head up as if you were looking at your fingertips, looking at the sky. And then exhale, take your arms down by your side. Again, reach your arms up overhead. This time, interlace your fingers, press your palms up toward the sky here. Again, keep both shoulders moving down, always the opposition in these poses. Grounding down to reach up. 1 more breath here. Good, then keeping your fingers interlaced, take the palms to the back of your head and then press your head gently back into your palms as you spread your elbows side to side, opening up the triceps, opening up the heart, maybe gently tilting your heart up toward the sky. And as you exhale, start to tuck your chin, round your spine, join your elbows in front of you, tap them together, round it down. Inhale, open up like a butterfly. Keep that pressure between your hand and your head, opening up. Exhale, tuck it in as you tap your elbows down, tuck it in. Inhale 1 more time, open it up. Keep your eyes closed, really take the focus inward. And then exhale, tuck it in, rounding the spine. Inhale, bring your torso back straight, take those interlaced fingers back up overhead. And as you exhale, release your left fingertips down next to your hip and take a nice side stretch here. Grounding down through your right sit bone, reaching your right fingertips up above. Gently tilting your chin up toward your elbows. If your eyes are open, gazing at the sky. If your eyes are closed, just pretend you're gazing at the sky. 1 more breath. Inhale, take it back up overhead. Switching sides, right hand down. Left sit bones grounding, and reach up and over. Tilting your chin gently. Gaze is easy. 1 more breath here. Inhale, reach it back up overhead. This time, take your left hand a little bit behind you as you take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh, taking a nice twist here. Keeping your hips squared by grounding your sit bones down and twisting from the rib cage up. Every inhale, lengthen a little bit taller, and every exhale, twist a little bit further. Using the pressure of your hand and your thigh to keep twisting you back. Gazing behind you, one more breath. Inhale, reach it back up overhead. And as you exhale, switch sides. Left hand to the outside of your right thigh, right fingertips behind you. Really open that right collarbone back. And then take your gaze behind you over your right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist it behind you. One more round of breath. Inhale, nice tall spine. Exhale, twist a little bit further. Good. Inhale, reach it back up overhead. And as you exhale, bring your palms down in front of you. Roll over your knees. Remove anything that you were sitting on. Coming to tabletop position. I have like a million tools here because of all my injuries. So I have to make some space here. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Wrists are right under your shoulders. Knees are right under your hips. Good. Take a inhale here to really press into the mat. Feel your hands dragging back even though they're not going to move. And use that traction to open your heart, foot through your shoulders. You arch your spine. Gaze moves up, tailbone to the sky. Exhale, press your palms into the mat. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone around your spine. Take it nice and slow. Inhale, arch it up. Spread those sit bones as you gaze up. Exhale, round it down. One more time. Inhale, arch it up. Exhale, round it down. Next inhale, keep your left palm planted into the mat. Oh, I forgot to say, I'll take a pause for a second. I always forget to say to start your playlist if you haven't already. Good. Push your palm into the mat when you're ready. Inhale, reach your right arm up toward the sky. Gaze moves up, following your thumb. And as you exhale, thread your right arm under your left. Good. Take your left fingertips, crawl them up overhead, finding a nice side stretch here. Keep your hips moving back evenly. Good. Keep reaching those fingertips forward. And if you're ready, you can take the bind, grabbing your inner thigh. Keep opening your collarbone, opening your gaze toward the sky. One more breath here. Next, inhale, reach your left arm back up overhead. Plant your palms, sweep your right arm up to the sky. And exhale, come back to tabletop. Switching sides, left arm sweeps up, open your heart. And as you exhale, thread it through. Left shoulder and cheek come down to the mat. Walk your right fingertips up overhead, finding a nice side stretch here all along the right side of the body from the fingers to the hips. And then stay here, take the bind if you're ready. Reaching behind you for your inner thigh. Opening up that right shoulder, gaze up. Exhale here. Next inhale, right arm sweeps up toward the sky, plant that palm. Left arm sweeps up. Exhale, come back to tabletop. Good, one more quick stretch here. Switch your palms so that your fingers are facing your knees, thumbs are on the outside, staying in that nice, strong tabletop position. Tuck your toes under here and then just start to lean back. Try to keep the heels of your hands into the mat, finding a nice foot stretch here and a wrist stretch. Maybe side to side is what you need. Good. One more breath. Then take your fingers toward the midline. You're on the backs of your hands now, pressing the backs of your hands into the mat. Start to straighten your elbows here, and if this is enough, stay here, or start to make little fists with your fingers. Rolling through every knuckle as you curl in and curl it back out. Good, don't forget about that thumb, it's a hard one to curl in. Good, one more time, fist it up. Exhale, release it down. Return your palms to the mat. Tuck your toes under, and then slowly start to make your way back into your first downward facing dog, letting your hips lead the way. Palms are pressing into the mat, feet are hips width distance apart here. Good. Rock side to side, bend into each knee, walking the dog out. Feeling your foundation, really feeling your feet and your hands into the mat. Shake your head, yes. Shake it, no. Release that neck, no tension in the neck here. Inhaling and exhaling. On your next inhale, come high up on your tiptoes and then gently let your heels fall toward the right. Pressing your left hand into the mat, finding a nice stretch along the left side body. Keep sending those hips back, your chest back towards your thighs.
Inhale, come high on the toes, back to center. And as you exhale, switch sides, heels fall to the left. Take this nice, long, twisted side stretch here. Pressing your palms into the mat, sending your chest back. Inhale, come back up on your heel, on your toes here. Exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale, reach your right leg up toward the sky, three-legged dog. Keep your chest moving back toward your thigh. Bend your knee, open your hip. Roll your ankle a few times in one direction and then the other. And then start to make some big circles with your knee, either bent or a straight leg. Opening up the hip, warming it up. Good. It's like our morning ritual. And then switch directions if you haven't already. Taking nice, big, slow circles, sending your breath to the hip. Next, inhale, send your right leg back up toward the sky. Come high on your left toes here as you reach your right toes up a little bit higher. Maybe gently bend into your left knee. Send your chest back as you reach your right toes up. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Hug your knee in towards your chest. And as you exhale, place your foot in between your hands, coming into a low lunge here. Come high on your fingertips, chest is moving forward, heart is moving ahead, right? We're looking forward. Rock back and forth a few times. Good, inhale here. And as you exhale, drop your left knee to the mat. Keep your toes tucked for a moment here as you sweep your arms up toward the sky. Good. Really feel the lift in your left leg here with your toes tucked. Pressing your toes and your knee into the mat, lifting up. One more breath. As you exhale, bring your hands to either side of your front foot. You can untuck your back toes, straighten your right leg, coming into a half split. Take a moment here to lengthen your heart forward as you pull your right hip back and in. Exhale, fold it down. Inhaling here and exhaling. One more breath. Good. Inhale, bend back into your right knee, plant your palms, step it back to downward facing dog. Next, inhale, switch sides, left leg up toward the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip. Stack your left hip on top of your right. Move your ankle in either direction a few times. Good, and then start to make those big, yummy circles. Just warming up here. Good. Really think about engaging your core and using your core to move your leg, right? Don't just let it flop around up there. One more time, and then take your left leg up toward the sky, three-legged dog. For just a breath, high on your right toe, gentle bend in your right knee as you lift your left toes a little bit higher. As you exhale, roll forward to plank, hugging your knee in toward your chest. And then place your right foot in between your hands, coming to a low lunge. Rocking back and forth here, high on your fingertips. Tall heart, tall chest. Good, gaze ahead. Beautiful. And then with those back toes remaining tucked, just tap your right knee down to the mat. Sweep your arms up toward the sky. Good. We usually do this with an untucked back foot. Just notice the difference. Maybe give a little more lift up the front of your right quad. Gaze is up. One more breath here. Lift a little bit higher. As you exhale, hands to either side of your front foot. Straighten that leg as you send your hips back over your back knee. Inhale here to lengthen and pull your left hip back as you do that. Exhale, fold it forward. Breathing in and breathing out. One more breath here. Exhale. Next inhale, bend back into your left knee, plant your palms, step it back to downward facing dog. And then slowly start to walk your feet toward the top of the mat, up on your toes, use your core. Arrive at the top of your mat with your feet hips width distance apart, and just hang forward. Good, you can grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. Releasing your lower back. Maybe gently bend your knees here, find some extra space, and then fold into it as you straighten your legs. Inhaling and exhaling. Good, staying folded down, release your palms down like right under your shoulders so you're making like a little square with your feet and your hands. Then bring your right palm to the center, so now you're making a triangle. Bend into your right knee as you tuck your right shoulder into that knee, and then open your left arm up toward the sky. Press into your feet here, Phil. and opening in the side body, gaze up. Keep that pressure between your knee and your shoulder. One more breath. As you exhale, bring it back down. Replace your left hand where your right was. Gently bend into your left knee. Tuck that left shoulder to the inside of your left knee, and then reach your right arm up. One more breath here. This should feel really nice in your lower back. Exhale, fold it forward. Soften your knees. Let your head hang heavy. Let your arms hang heavy. And slowly roll yourself all the way up to stand. Keeping that tail gently tucked as you sweep your arms out and up overhead. Up to prayer. Find length in the front body. And as you exhale, bring your hands to prayer, heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Good. You should be at the top of your mat. Setting an intention for your practice this morning. Good. Let your eyes blink open. Let your hands fall by your side, coming in a nice strong Tadasana, mountain pose position. Notice your feet pressing into the mat here. And as you inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold it down over straight, strong legs. Inhale here to lengthen, look forward. Exhale, plant your palms, step or jump back, lowering down to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the tops of your feet into the mat and use that to pull your heart forward. Exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Breathe. Finding your foundation here, right? Maybe pedaling it out. Maybe bending your knees a little bit and feel your hips lift up toward the sky. Inhale here. Exhale. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Good, this time take your sun salutation with soft knees. So inhale, reach up, find extra space in your front body here, maybe when you soften and release your hips. Exhale, fold it forward over soft knees. Inhale, lengthen to look forward. Exhale, plant your palms, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gentle knees, soft knees here, right? It's like a micro bend. But somehow it releases the hips that we're so used to just holding everything in. Inhaling here. Every exhale, send your chest back a little bit further towards your thighs. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Hook your thumbs out in front of you as you inhale, reach up, look up, arch back. Exhale, bend your knees, swing arms, clasp hands, fold down over straight legs. Keep reaching the knuckles toward the sky. Inhale, hands to the mat, step your right foot back to a lunge, gaze forward. Exhale, left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Keep those arms squeezing in. Inhale, slide it forward to low cobra. Exhale, push it back, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, lunge, gaze ahead. Exhale, left foot forward, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, reach up, look up, arch back. Exhale, bend knees, swing arms, clasp hands, fold it down. Crown of the head is heavy. Inhale, hands to the mat, step your left foot back to a lunge. Exhale, right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down Chaturanga, gaze forward. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide it forward to cobra. Pull your shoulders back. Exhale, push it back, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, lunge. Exhale, right foot forward, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, reach up, look up, arch it back. Again, bend your knees, swing your arms, clasp hands, fold it down. Inhale, hands to the mat, step your right foot back to a lunge. As you exhale, sweep your left foot all the way up to three-legged dog. Inhale here, roll forward to plank, hug your knee in towards your chest. Exhale, three-legged dog. Next, inhale, step your left foot in between your hands. Drop your back knee to the mat, come up to the tucked back toe in Anjaneyasana, right? Really feel the grounding here, right where we started. Now use your ball of your back foot in pressing into the mat to lift yourself up into a high lunge that we can talk today. Good, really feel the ball of your right foot pressing into the mat. Square your hips, gaze moves up. As you exhale, take a twist open to the left, gazing over your left hand behind you. Square your hips by squeezing the outer hips into the midline. Stay here, take the reverse, reaching up and back with your right arm. Gaze moves up and back. One more breath. As you exhale, hands come down to either side of your foot. Step back, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide it forward to cobra. Pause here. Place your forearms onto the mat under your shoulders, coming to a sphinx pose. So your forearms are like equal signs here. Press them into the mat and then start to drag them back as you open your heart, press your feet and your hips down into the mat. Nice and strong here. One more breath. Good, as you exhale, lower your chest, bring your hands back next to your rib cage, push it back, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward to a lunge. Exhale, left foot forward, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, reach up, look up, arch your back. Exhale, bend knees, swing arms, clasp hands, fold it down. Last time here. Inhale, hands to the mat, left foot back to a lunge. As you exhale, right foot sweeps up to three-legged dog. Inhale here, roll forward to plank, hug your knee in towards your chest. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale, step your foot in between your hands, drop your back knee for a moment. Get yourself set up nice and strong here, right? Press your right foot into the mat. Press the ball of your left toe into the mat here. And as you inhale, sweep your arms up to Anjaneyasana. And then press through the back foot to lift yourself up slowly into a high lunge. Nice and strong here. Tuck your tailbone under slightly. Lift your heart toward the sky. And as you exhale, open it up to the right. Squeeze your outer hips in. Gaze moves behind you. Reaching in opposite directions. Stay here, take the reverse, reaching your left arm up and back. Let your gaze follow if you have the balance. One more breath. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Step back, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward to low cobra. Replace your forearms back to the mat in sphinx pose. Tuck your toes under and come into a forearm plank. You may have to adjust your feet a little bit. Tuck your tail down. Good, nice, strong, long torso, front and back. Rock side to side here. Good, and then either stay here and just pretend you're squeezing a block in between your inner thighs, or you could take a few times like your knee to your upper arm. Let's do 3 times each side, alternating. So do what you can, stay where you are. Holding a plank is really hard. Good, one more time to each side. Use your core. Good, back to plank position. Lower your torso back down to sphinx. Hands come to your rib cage. Push it back, seat to heels. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward to a lunge. Exhale, right foot forward, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees, hook, thumbs, reach up, look up, arch back. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Good, close your eyes, reset. Good. Catch up with yourself. Should be nice and warm now. Beautiful. All right, moving on here. Bring your toes and heels to touch at the top of the mat. Bend your knees, send the weight into your heels as you drop your seat. Reach your arms up overhead, coming to a Katasana chair pose. Take the weight to your heels, tuck your tail, lift your heart. One more breath here. Exhale, fold down over straight legs. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward, rise up, warrior one. Back heel down, back foot is at an angle, pressing into the outer edge of that back foot. Good. Knee stacked right over your ankle. Hips are square. One more breath here. As you exhale, hands come down, step back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, back foot down, rise up to warrior one. Really use the outer edge of that back foot to twist your hips square. Inhale. Exhale. Last inhale, here, reach higher as you drop your hips lower. Exhale, hands come down, step back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Always welcome to take child's pose. Breathing in, breathing out. One more round of breath here. In, fill up. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, bend your knees deeply, rise up to Utkatasana, squeeze the midline. Exhale, fold it back down. Inhale, lengthen to look forward. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down, really pressing into those palms. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward, rise up to warrior one. Good, as you exhale, open it up to warrior two. So hips and shoulders toward the side of the room. Deep bend in that front knee, tuck your tail under, use your core here, pull your shoulders down, pause here. Strong warrior, gaze over your fingertips. One more breath here. Good, then we're gonna do 2 versions of reverse warrior. So the first one, I want you to take more of like a side bend. So you're gonna be keeping your chest facing the side of the room. So come into a reverse warrior, keep bending into that front knee as you reach away, stretching the right side body. Pull one more breath. Good. Then from here, just press into your back foot and start to peel your heart up toward the sky, turning into more of a back bend. Right, notice what that does in the front of your left hip. You should feel a nice opening there. One more breath here. Good, and then as you exhale, start to bring yourself into extended side angle. So right hand can come into your thigh as you reach your left arm up and over, or you can bring your hand to the inside or outside of your front foot. You can bind, do what feels good, but keep pressing into that back foot, lifting your hips, reaching forward. One more breath here. Don't lose the bend in your front knee. As you exhale, bring your hands down to either side of your front foot. Step back, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Good. Exhale, open it up to warrior two. Good. Instead of leaning forward, think about bringing your torso back over your hips. So if you look at the screen, we're not here, we're here, right? So center your weight over your hips. Tuck your tail, pull your shoulders down, open your heart, open your hips. One more breath. Good. Then inhale, take that first version of reverse warrior, make it a side bend. You can drag your right hand down your right leg. Feel the ribs extending. One more breath here. Good, then slowly press into your right foot as you peel your heart open toward the sky, making it more of a back bend here. One more breath. And then as you exhale, start to bring yourself into extended side angle. Arm to your thigh as you reach your right arm over, or our hands can come down to either side of your front foot or bind. Wherever you are, keep pressing into your feet. Don't let your hips sink. Good, 2 more breaths here. Keep opening up, stretching from foot to toe unless you have the bind, from foot to fingers unless you have the bind. One more breath. As you exhale, bring your hands down to either side of your front foot. Step back to chaturanga or meet us in downward facing dog. Right, the vinyasa is always optional. 3 breaths here. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, right foot steps forward, back foot comes down, rise up to warrior one. As you exhale, press through your right foot as you bring your arms behind you, interlace your fingers, open your heart, open your front body as you pull your knuckles down. And then as you exhale, start to bend into your right knee, fold yourself inside your right leg, coming into humble warrior. Keep pressing through that back foot. And your right hip should be moving sort of back and in, not jutting way out to the side, right? Try to stay like in a nice track here on your mat. Inhaling here. Exhale. One more breath. Next inhale, stay low. Bring your left hand down under your left shoulder. Come to the toes of your back foot and you take a nice open twist here. Good. Keep pulling your right hip back in, and as you take your torso away from your thigh, maybe take your hand to the back of your head, opening up your tricep. One more breath. Exhale, right hand comes down, step back, lower down, or meet us in downward facing dog. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, rise up to warrior one. As you exhale, press into your feet to straighten your left leg, fingers come behind you, interlace as you open your heart. Good, keep pressing down to lift up, find that space. And then exhale all at once, start to pour yourself on the inside of your left leg as you bend deeply into your left knee. Humble warrior. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Pull that left hip back and in. And then press into your left heel. Feel the bottom side of your left leg kind of lift up, right by your tush there. Really activate that. One more breath. Next inhale, stay low as you release your hands, right hand right under your right shoulder, come to the toes of your back foot as you take this nice open twist. Good. Really exaggerate it, but don't lose the bend in your front knee. Maybe take your left hand to the back of your head and open up a little bit further, using that pressure of the head of the hand to stretch your tricep. One more breath. Exhale, left hand down, step back, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, adding on to this. Right foot steps forward, rise up to warrior one. As you exhale, straighten your right leg, bring your hands behind you, open your heart. Inhale here. Exhale, take it down into humble warrior for one round of breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Next inhale, left hand down, left heel spins up, take this nice open twist. Good, then start to come to the outer edge of both of your feet. We're gonna do this like a hip opening. So you're gonna drop your hips down as you reach your right arm back, and then press into the outer edge of those feet to lift your hips as you take your arm up and over. Exhale, stretch it down back as you dip your hips. Exhale, use your feet to press your hips up toward the sky, reaching forward. Last time here, drop your hips. Inhale, take your right arm up, keep reaching it for the sky here, and then start to make your way into a side plank. So you can either stack your legs, you can take your right leg on top like a kickstand, or you can grab your big toe and take it into a different expression, right? It's not like further, it's just different. Wherever you are, the most important thing is to press down and lift your hips up toward the sky. One more breath. And then everyone let your right leg fall behind you, coming into this twisted dog, flip dog, good. Pressing down, left leg is straight. You can try to come onto your right toes here to lift your hips a little bit higher. Good, and then as you exhale, you're gonna be facing the back of the mat, just come down to sit. So your left leg is extended. Bring your right foot in about like 2 fists width from your left inner hip here. So your knees facing the sky, your heels in towards your tush. Bring your left hand behind you for balance as you reach your right arm up to the sky as you ground down. Exhale, reach your right arm forward, and then start to hug your shin with your upper arm, taking the bind if you have it. Good. Keep pulling that shin in toward the midline. Take an inhale here to lengthen your heart forward, and then exhale, fold it down. Breathing here. You may or may not have the bind. The most important thing is to hug that shin in toward your midline here. Press your right foot down. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Next inhale, come back up to seated. Take your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. We're going to take a seated spinal twist here. So your right hand comes behind you. Left arm reaches up toward the sky. And as you exhale, take the twist. Good. Grounding down your sit bones, twisting from your rib cage. You can bring your hands into prayer and think about dragging your heart toward your thumbs. You can take the bind here. Wherever you are, take a deep inhale. Lengthen again. When we're twisting, every inhale you lengthen, and every exhale you twist a little bit further, taking your gaze behind you. One more breath. Good. Then stay twisted. Start to walk your hands back toward the front of the mat, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Good. There has to be a more elegant way to do that. I have to figure that out. Inhale and exhale here. Next inhale, left foot steps forward, rise up to warrior one. As you exhale, straighten your left leg, hands come behind you, interlace as you open your heart. And then exhale, fold it down into humble warrior. Let the crown of your head hang heavy. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, release your hands, right hand down, right heel comes up, take this nice open twist. Good, and then keep it going. Come to the outer edges of both of your feet as you drop your hips and reach your left arm back. Gaze is behind you. Inhale, arch that arm up and over as you press your hips high. Exhale, reach it back. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop your hips, reach behind you. Good, inhale, lift. Good, and from this lift, keep pressing into that back foot as you either stack your legs, bring your left foot in front of you, or grab your left big toe coming into your version of side plank, Vashisthasana. Keep opening it up. One more breath here. Lift. As you exhale, let your left foot fall behind you. Open your heart toward the sky, flipping your dog, arching it back, reaching it up. One more breath. And then as you exhale, just let your seat fall to the mat, setting up for this fold. So you want to stretch your right leg out. Left heel is in towards your tush. A little bit of distance between your thigh and your foot. Right hand down as you reach your left arm up for space. Exhale, reach inside your leg and then take the bind. Always taking a breath here to lengthen before you exhale and fold it down. Don't forget about that extended leg. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, come all the way back up. Take your left foot to the outside of your right thigh. You can bend into your right knee or keep it your legs straight. Ground those sit bones. Left hand behind you as you reach your right arm up to the sky. And then exhale, take the twist. Hooking your arm outside your leg, just above the knee. Maybe bringing your hands into prayer and really pressing your palms together, dragging your heart toward your thumbs. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Lift a little taller. Good. As you exhale, keep twisting around. Place your palms toward the top of the mat and step it back to downward facing dog. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Next inhale, step your right foot forward. Rise up to warrior one. Good. Then open it up into warrior two. Press into your right foot to straighten your leg. Maybe shorten your stance if you need to. Good, we're coming into triangle. So remember, between 2 panes of glass, so tuck that tail under. As you reach forward, you send your hips back in space. And exhale, take your right arm down as your left arm reaches up straight from your shoulder. Keep pressing those hips forward. Maybe even in this triangle, just gently bend your right knee. And then press your foot into the mat to straighten it back out, feeling the extra space in your hip crease. One more breath here. Exhale. As you inhale, bring your left hand to your left hip, bend into your right knee, walk your right fingertips out in front of you, and make your way into half moon pose. Good. Just like triangle, right? We're keeping our heart and our hips open toward the side of the room. Gaze is the last thing to go up.
only if you have your balance. One more breath here. As you exhale, bring your left hand down, square your hips, left toes face down toward the mat, then sweep your right arm up toward the sky. Twisted half moon, keep squeezing the outer hips in. Feel a nice opening in your outer right hip here. One more breath. As you exhale, left hand comes down, square your hips as you reach your heart forward, and then exhale, walk it back into standing split. Reach those toes for the sky. Again, micro bend your right knee. Lift the left toes a little higher and then straighten it back out. One more breath here. Good. As you exhale, let your left foot float to the back of the mat, coming into a low lunge. Exhale, right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, open it up to warrior two. Inhale, use your left foot to straighten your leg. Get yourself set up for triangle pose. And then start to really reach forward. Think about your left side body staying nice and long. And then left hand comes down, right arm reaches for the sky, straight up from your shoulder. Keep tucking your tail down, like each side down towards its respective heel. Stacking those hips. Inhaling here, press into that back foot. Exhale. Maybe micro bend your left knee for just a moment here. And then as you exhale, straighten it back out. Open your heart a little bit more. Exhale. Right hand comes to your right hip. Walk your left fingertips out. Start to make your way into half moon pose. Good. Opening up. Using maybe a micro bend in your left knee to open up a little bit more. Releasing some space in your hips. One more breath here. As you exhale, right hand comes down. Square your hips, right toes face down as you peel your left arm toward the sky, squeezing your outer hips in. One more breath. Exhale, left hand down. Lengthen your heart forward as you square your hips. And then exhale, walk it back into standing leg split. Let your head hang. Nice long neck here. Maybe micro bend that left knee. And then reach your right toes a little bit higher as you straighten back out. Next, exhale, let your right toes float to the back of the mat, coming into a low lunge. Exhale, step it back to downward facing dog. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. We're going to make our way into a yogi squat. So you can either jump there or walk there. Feet are outside your hands. So take an inhale here. And if you're jumping, take it like you're in slow motion. Exhale and float yourself softly into a yogi squat. I'm going to put face you body now. Good. Take a few moments here. Rock back and forth. Feel your feet in the mat. Good. Tailbone is hanging heavy. First, bring your heart nice and tall. Use your elbows to open your knees a little bit further. I lost the sticky of my sticky mat. Good. Opening up here. Beautiful. And then start to walk your hands out in front of you. You guys know I love this one. Pour yourself like you're driving over a beach ball here. Let your head hang heavy. Let your tailbone sink back and down. Knees are still feeling open. Don't let them sink in. Breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Then you're gonna bring your toes straight and just come down to your knees. We're gonna make our way into a frog. So, you know, if you need your knees padded or not, I like to have my knees where they can have a little movement to sink a little bit deeper. Good. Just check yourself. Make sure you have all right angles. So your knees are coming right out from your hips. Your shins are like coming right down from your knees, and then flex your feet nice and strong. And use that inner edge of your feet to kind of press your hips back a little bit. Now I want you to press into like your inner knees, press them into the mat and pretend you're pulling them in toward the midline here. You should feel lots of activation in your inner thighs here. You'll love me later, I promise. Good. Hold it. Squeeze it in. One more breath. Whew, and then exhale, release, and just sink down into your frog pose. You can rock back and forth here. Right? Holding it is the hardest.
That's why it's good to come to class, because I think on our own, we probably wouldn't hold this very long. So let's give ourselves like another 20 seconds here. And you can stay static or you can move around a little bit. You can roll one thigh down and lift the foot up toward the sky, really getting into that inner groin rotation there, or just stay where you are. Good. One more breath. Beautiful. On your next inhale, just roll yourself forward. Take your legs out behind you. Bring your third eye down to the mat. Good. Just lay on your belly. Shake your hips out here. Then bring your arms down by your side. Your palms can face up or down, it doesn't matter. Like, you'll know it feels good in your shoulders. Press your feet into the mat, press your hip bones and pubic bone into the mat, and then lift your heart up and forward. Good, gaze ahead. Keep pulling your fingers back as you reach your heart forward. This is really good for the lower back. One more breath here, lift a little bit higher. Exhale, release it down. Good. And everyone's different. I find it harder to press my feet into the mat than lift them, but some people have very flexible backs. Rock your hips side to side. Good, this time reach your arms behind you, interlace your fingers, and then again, you can either leave your feet pressing into the mat and use that to lift your heart up, or you can let your legs float up too. Keep pulling your knuckles back, and it's really about being like long, right? Not as much high here. So press the hip bones into the mat. Open your heart, one more breath. As you exhale, take it back down. Rock it out. And bend your knees, grab your ankles or your feet from the inside or the outside. Again, your shoulders will tell you where you want to go today. Take an inhale here with your head down. And then as you exhale, start to reach your feet up toward the sky. You lift your heart coming into a floor bow here. Good. Keep squeezing the legs into the midline. Open your heart. Lift your legs a little bit higher. And then as you exhale, release it down. Place your hands by your rib cage. Lift yourself up into a cobra, high cobra. And then exhale, tuck your toes, take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale here. And exhale. Next, inhale, right leg reaches up toward the sky, three-legged dog. And then as you exhale, it'll be yogi's choice. You can either come into pigeon or full or half split. So do what feels good for you and your hips. Either way, your left leg is coming straight out from your hips. So check behind you to make sure that you're not sort of skewed to one side and that the top of your left foot is pressing into the mat evenly. Square your hips wherever you are. Walk your fingertips back, even if you're in pigeon. Open your heart. And then exhale, start to walk yourself forward. Let your heart pull you forward. Nice long spine. Fold it down. Breathe where you are. Inhaling and exhaling. One more deep breath. Inhale. As you exhale, start to lift your torso up. Stay in pigeon or splits wherever you are. And then we're just going to take a thigh stretch. So bend your back leg. Take your left hand, if you can, to the top of your left foot and curl your fingers forward. Keep your chest moving toward the front of the room, wherever you are. So your front leg is bent or straight. Good. Opening up your heart. Lifting up. You can take mermaid, taking your foot to the crook of your elbow. Take it as far as you want. I'm staying right here today. One more breath. As you exhale, release the back foot. Tuck those back toes under and make your way back up to a three-legged dog for just a breath. Stretch it out. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up toward the sky. And then as you exhale, make your way into either pigeon or splits, wherever you're going. If you're going to pigeon, your left knee is behind your left wrist and your leg is bent. You're going to fold over your shin, not your thigh. Good. Check your back foot, nice and strong in the mat. Keep pressing it down, activating. Lift your heart, walk your fingertips back, make lots of space to fold into. And then as you exhale, walk your fingertips forward, folding down, letting your head release last. Good. Really taking advantage of the gravity here to pull your hips down.
Inhaling here and exhaling. 2 more breaths. In, exhale, let it go. Good, next inhale, just lift your torso up wherever you are. I guess if you're in half split, you should probably make your way to pigeon. I didn't say that before, sorry. And then bend your back foot, start to take this thigh stretch, working on rotating your torso square to the front of the mat as you pull your heel in towards your seat. Inhaling, exhaling. Last inhale. Good, as you exhale, release the foot. Tuck your back toes. Sweep your left leg back to 3-legged dog. And then as you exhale, return to downward facing dog. Inhaling here. Exhale, bend your knees deeply as you look forward. Inhale, step or jump all the way through to your seat. Coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Because this wouldn't be our classes without it. Good. Think about like almost rotating a little bit forward of your sit bones here so that your toes face straight up for the sky. Good. Bring your hands behind you. Lift your heart as you ground down through those sit bones or wherever you're making contact. And then as you exhale with this nice open heart, start to walk yourself forward. Keep gazing ahead, coming down to your forearms. You can come all the way down wherever you're going. Just keep it active, right? We're not quite at the end, so keep everything engaged. If you're on your forearms, even think about pulling them back a little bit as you pull your heart forward. Take a moment here, really flex your toes up toward the sky, and then do the opposite, point them, right? Really press through your toes, stretch the front of your ankles here, and maybe go back and forth or stay where you need it most. We spend a lot of time flexing our feet, so sometimes we need a nice stretch on the front of the ankles there. One more breath. Inhale, walk your torso back up. Let's take this nice side stretch, kind of like we did when we were reversing our warrior. So first bring your left forearm down to the inside of your left leg. Reach your right arm up as you ground down through the right sit bone. And first take a nice side stretch here. So make a big arch with your arm here like a rainbow. Reaching for your toes without letting your right sit bone release from the mat. Good. Open your heart toward the sky here. One more breath. Good, and stay low and just rotate your torso so that you're now facing down your left leg. Take an inhale here to lengthen your arms on either side of your shin, and then exhale, fold it down. Take your right toes here and point them away from you. Feel like you're pulling your right toes away as you fold in the opposite direction. One more breath. Good, inhale, bring it all the way back to center, switch sides. Right hand, palm faces up so you can really press down into that forearm as you reach your left arm up. Round your sit bone, and then take a side stretch here. So many angles to stretch in, right? So if we always do the same one, we're sort of weakening other parts of our hip or our shoulder, wherever we're going. Nice open here, side stretch, exhale. Good, next inhale, start to rotate your torso down towards your right leg. Squaring down, take an inhale here, arms are on either side of that leg, and then exhale, fold it down. Point your left toes and reach away. That helps ground that left leg down. One more breath. Good, inhale, come back up. Hands behind your thighs. Take it into Baddha Konasana. Good, just join the soles of your feet together. Scoot your heels in as much as you can. Keep a tall torso. Open your heart here. And then as you exhale, take your elbows to the inner thighs as you start to pull yourself forward. Good, again, this is like more of a straight spine here. We're not rounding. Inhaling here. And exhaling, good. Now inhale, come all the way up. Bring your feet out a little bit further so you're more like a diamond than a triangle with your legs. And this time we're gonna pretend we're pouring ourselves over a beach ball. So you're gonna aim the crown of your head towards the arches of your feet and find a nice rounding in your spine here, stretching the vertebra. Holding it here. Good. Inhale, come back up to seated. One more little hip thing before we head down. Take your feet to the mat nice and wide here. I think we did this last time. Sit bones are grounded. Good, really get that pressure. It's hard to find the strength in your feet here. Press your feet into the mat
And then start to fold forward, kind of like we did in yogi squat here. Keep pressing your inner thighs back, your knees back as you fold down. Ooh. One more breath. Inhale, come back up. Just place your hands behind you. We'll just do this little roll here. So bring your right inner knee to the mat as you come onto your left hip, and then switch sides. Just tick-tocking your knees back and forth. Good. Kind of lubricating that inner thigh there, that rotation that we've been working on. Just letting it go. One more time to each side. Good. Good, then bring your knees back together. Lengthen your feet out in front of you. Arms come, actually, let's bring our fingertips to the mat. I like doing it like this. Really tuck your tail down towards your heels, and then drag your fingers back. Navel is down toward the mat as you slowly make your way down onto your back here. Setting up for waterfall or shoulder stand. Waterfall, legs are in the air. Shoulder stand, hand comes to your lower back, and lift your hips up toward the sky. I can't do shoulder stand right now, but do something to get your feet above your heart, right? Reversing the flow of the blood. Good. Good, and then you can either stay in shoulder stand, or Catherine and Heather, you might want to try this. Try to keep one leg reaching up toward the sky as you bend the other knee and bring it down towards your ear, kind of like half Karnapidasana there. Keep reaching the toes toward the sky as you pull down. Good, and then switch. It's not a bicycle, it's almost like a seesaw. Good. You'll have to let me know after class if it feels good. That one feels good to me, so I'm sharing the wealth. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, let your feet fall behind you, coming into plow pose. Letting your toes reach down toward the mat. If they get there, you can release your hands in the opposite direction. Good. Sending love to your lower back here. And then bend your knees to either side of your head. I can't do it again. But coming into Karnapidasana, so give your head a little squeeze. Shins are hanging nice and heavy. And then straighten those legs back out. Release your arms down the mat and slowly make your way all the way back down onto your backs. Setting up for our last pose. Fish pose, so shimmy your elbows down towards your hips, pressing your forearms, arch your back, lift your heart, let your head fall behind you. Good, and then like we did at the beginning of class, you could inhale through your nose and exhale, let it all go through your mouth. And then just some options here, you can lift your legs and do it. You can lift your arms up overhead and do that, right? Just do what feels good to you. Opening up, really engaging your core here, and using that to take a deep inhale in and then exhale it out. One more time like that, opening up. And on your last exhale, tuck your chin toward your chest, coming down onto the mat. Taking any last poses that you need to feel good with your practice. You can take a supine twist or a happy baby. Good, and when you're ready, hopefully you're at a good point on your playlist. Set yourself up for Shavasana and really just sink. We always say this, it's the hardest pose. After all this movement, and our brain's going a million miles an hour, just trust that you're there and that the earth will be there to hold you, and breathe. Slowing down. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Filling up with an inhale, letting go with an exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes, slowly bringing your body back to life. Go ahead and take a deep inhale as you reach your arms up overhead, taking a full body stretch, reaching your toes in the opposite direction.
And as you exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest, pausing there for a moment. And then roll to either side through fetal position. Return yourself to seated, keeping your eyes gently closed. Right, trying to stay tuned out for just a few more minutes. Tuned out from the outside and tuned into yourself, right? Consciously set up that nice tall spine like we did at the beginning of class, really feeling your sit bones grounded down, right? That's your foundation. Then stacking your spine nice and tall. I always love checking in at the end of class by rolling my shoulders up by my ears, letting them roll back, spreading my collarbone, and just noticing all of this energy and all of this space that we've created in our hearts and our minds and our bodies. Perfect timing. I'm so thankful that we have this time, Carly, that we have this time together and for ourselves. And we'll close together with Loka Samasta, breathing in, really filling up here with all of this energy and love. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your hands together, heart center, gently bow your chin in toward your chest. Taking this final few moments together to thank yourself, honor yourself, and celebrate yourself, knowing that everything that you need is right inside of each one of you. Bring your prayer to your third eye, sealing in the practice in this beautiful energy. We bow forward together. Namaste.